This is the Infinity Summit Group. Truth, passion, success.
Welcome back, everybody. Y'all know us by now.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. So I want to jump kind of into the political atmosphere to start. What's happening in the world? First of all, Vivek Ramaswamy is like, he's not polling very high.
8%.
Yeah, but he's dope. I've watched a lot of his videos and stuff, and like his debates. I freaking love that guy.
5 days ago. Interesting.
Who's this dude?
Vivek Ramaswamy. So he's
Vivek Ramaswamy.
Yeah, he's kind of like, he reminds me of Obama in the way he speaks.
Yep.
But I don't know, he's got that fire in him that's like that MAGA fire, you know?
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. There was a good point that Tim Pool brought up today of like, he doesn't have very much experience with foreign relations.
Yeah.
He's very young. You got to be, 35 at least?
I think
He's very young and spry.
Oh.
So that is one thing where I'm like, yeah, that's fair. But he is all gung-ho about taking out all these three-letter agencies.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying he's like a government shield. He's going to be basically the Nikki Haley of the Republican Party, which we can get into her later. But
I don't think he will be.
No, I disagree with it because number one, why would they promote someone like that? They wouldn't. He's selling off parts of his own company and his stock in his company to fund his campaign, so he's not being bought out by people.
Awesome. That is
Number three, no way in hell would they prop up someone that's calling out to abolish the FBI and cut out 80% of the government day one, right?
Yep, he's planning on doing mass firings when he gets in.
But, on the other hand, he talks a lot. We have no way of knowing what's going to be real if he gets into office. A lot of people talk a lot of game, and then they do nothing. Mm-hmm. So just like Obama, he sounds great. He looks great. Everything about him is great. He's awful in office, right? So we don't know. Don't know, and we'll see what happens. He's not going to be the nominee. No way.
Not with how low he's polling, no.
No. But I do like what he's saying, and he's been in Iowa for a long time, just going from each city, like over and over again.
I saw him knocking doors. I saw a video of him knocking doors, dude.
He's literally he's the most involved politician, quote unquote politician, out there right now, which is cool. I like that. He does give a weird feeling, but I would vote for him. If it came down to it, I would.
Yeah, so he's like he was talking on Timcast the other day because they had him on. And first of all, the fact that he's willing to go on, that's awesome. That's like, nobody else is willing to go on that's running for president. And then he was talking and saying, like, listen, guys, I'm your safety net, essentially. Like, he's thinking that Trump's been so inundated with from the other side, the competition, basically, that he may or may not be on the ballot. And when he's not, or if he's not, then Vivek's there.
Which is it's very weird, and Ben Shapiro and Tim Pool brought that up today, saying because Vivek is saying, vote Vivek, save Trump. Trump doesn't need saving, though. He's on top of everything right now. So it's
Vivek's plan is
weird.
To pardon him.
Right, is to pardon him, but if he's running his campaign off of strictly that, and this is not my idea at all, this is Ben Shapiro, Tim Pool, it is weird because it's not going to work. Trump isn't going anywhere. In all reality, all of their lawsuits and everything is collapsing against Trump. He's not going anywhere. So if you're going to run your campaign off the 2% chance that Trump is gone, wonderful.
But it hasn't solely been that. It hasn't solely been that. That's like when they ask him, like, okay, do you think you're actually going to win against Trump? Or, like, why would we vote for you over Trump? That's when he starts bringing up, like, I'm your guys' backup plan, basically.
Which I love. We need that. We need people as a backup plan.
Yeah.
But let Trump run his course. Vivek, keep on going. After Iowa, drop out. Ron DeSantis, get out. Nikki Haley, all of them get out because all the supporters are going to go to Trump. And Trump supporters are not going to stop in any kind of weather, any kind of anything to vote for Trump. You're not going to get the same result with Democrats. You will not.
it's gonna be intense. Yeah, Vivek's been crazy, and he does have a lot of really good points. But like you said, we haven't seen any action. We don't know yet.
Well, what is he talking about that you guys like? 'Cause I haven't.
He wants to abolish the
No.
ATF,
Okay.
FBI,
DEA,
civics tests, go after the border, like everything.
civics tests for everybody. Like you got to
Wonderful.
earn your citizenship at 18,
Yeah,
basically,
Okay, I like that. Yeah.
which is badass. Because he was saying a lot of these immigrants that are coming in legally and doing the citizenships and everything, they know more about their government than citizens do, which is bullshit, you know?
Which is also a failing of our schools.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
He's saying all the right things to hit all of us right in the right spot that says yes. Vivek, yes.
Would you vote for him or
Which,
Trump?
which is what makes you nervous about him.
Exactly. I'm 100%. I'm voting for Trump. If that falls out, I'm going for Vivek.
Okay.
Ron DeSantis, no chance. And Nikki Haley, you're going to take us right into war directly because you're paid by the war people, and the Democrats are propping her up to be their government shield. And then who's the other one? I think he already dropped out.
Does
Chris.
Vivek have any other experience?
No, he has no
he has no-
experience except for running a multi-billion-dollar companies.
He's
Really,
a lawyer, too, isn't he? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I haven't heard that at all. Possible though.
Yeah, so he's a company owner just like Trump was.
He's like a shadow Trump.
Okay.
Yeah,
He is.
but I think he might be a
see.
shining star that's growing.
A little bit better.
So maybe
this
next
boy-
election.
Yeah, this boy's gonna blow away next election if he keeps up what he's doing.
That's what it is, and this is great because we're gonna have Trump this time, right? And I'm pretty certain he's gonna get in. Excuse me, sorry. And then we have Vivek on the bench. We have Tucker Carlson on the bench. I mean, who else do we have out
Tuck
there?
doesn't want to run for anything. He
I was
said,
like,
though.
He doesn't, but you know what? He's building
not
up his audience so much and having so much power.
It's true.
I think he's gonna run. Steven Crowder, I wouldn't mind to see him up there, and I think he's sitting in the waterworks. I really do.
He would be interesting.
I don't.
I like
vote for.
Steven Crowder, but I don't know that he'd be a great
Yeah.
president.
I like.
I
watching
think he'd
his
be
stuff.
way too aggressive,
I think he'd be a good
Yeah.
VP
but also, I think
or speaker.
yeah. So
It's-
either way, it's great, and we need Alex Jones, Speaker of the House. Bring it forward.
No.
Good luck.
Trump,
think-
do it.
So what
Crowder would
happened
be
to-
a way good political analyst for a president because
Great.
he goes out there and he talks to people. He doesn't change
Yeah.
my minds. I think he'd have a real good idea of what's going on.
What happened to Tucker? Because I feel like didn't he go off
He's bigger than ever before.
because he left Fox and everything, and he's
They
like,
fired him.
Fired him, yeah.
Why? Because he was saying the truth, and telling
Yeah.
the
He was
truth.
saying too much shit they didn't like,
Mhm.
so they see ya.
Yeah.
And for listeners, let us know what you guys think about this, and drop some questions, please, because I want to hear if we're wrong, if we're right, if you agree, disagree. Let's hear it.
So your problem with what's his name?
Vivek.
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 Okay.
He is a
Vivek,
lawyer.
Is that
He went
he's
to
He is a lawyer. There you go.
he's like
A lot agree from you.
scripted? Like he's saying too many things that you guys agree with, so it
Yeah.
seems like he's lying.
It's
about
like,
it?
you know, a Ponzi scheme where it's too good to be true.
Yeah.
It smells like that, it feels like that, but it might not be that. And I'm willing to run that risk after Trump.
I'm not getting that vibe yet from him.
How do you spell it?
Vivek,
EK.
and then
It'll pop
Ramaswamy,
up.
yeah.
Yeah,
long.
Okay.
Pastrami meat.
Strong.
Yeah, I mean, just from what I've seen from him, I am getting a very similar vibe with the way he speaks. It's like Obama.
Well, he's literally taking direct quotes that Obama says, and you can look up videos of exact quotes, and they repeat each other. Obama, Vivek. Obama, Vivek. Obama, Vivek. It smells like it, and it feels like it, so I don't know about it, but I want Trump now.
They went to the same schools. He went to Yale and Harvard, so that would make sense.
Did he?
That they have kind of the same way of speaking.
That's interesting.
Well, like, word for word, they're
Well, you might
They're
get taught
quoting
that.
each other.
Was
Obama had good shit to say sometimes.
Obama was great with his words. That's why he convinced how many
Yeah.
people to go out and vote for him? He was wonderful on camera.
There's still people that love him. Like, that would
Yeah.
way rather him than Biden. That's why he got 2 terms in a row.
Yeah, same with Michelle. She's all propping up now. Like,
Yeah.
bro, what?
I feel like he is a little better than Biden.
Obama?
Obama?
Yes.
I mean,
it
it's
depends.
allegedly the Obamas who are pulling the strings for Biden anyway, so
Fair.
may or may not be better. It might just be a
The same.
mouthpiece for Biden, for Obama.
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
I'd almost rather Biden because Obama's like a very competent person. Like, he could get what he wanted and speak very flowery. You see Joe Biden kind of bumbling around. You're kind of like, yeah, he doesn't know what's going on.
That's why it's sketchy, because he has no fucking clue what's going on. And somebody else is like, at least you know Obama's the one, like, doing stuff. With Biden, you have no clue who's doing anything.
Fair enough.
He's just a puppet.
For who?
Exactly.
For who? Don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Biden is very aware of what's happening. I really do. He might seem a little slow, which he is, but I think he knows at the end of the day exactly what he's doing.
Well, he's just propping up the same stuff he's been talking about since he was in office as a senator. Like,
Well, he knows what he's doing.
It's not surprising. Yeah.
No.
He's done what he said he would do. He's done what he said he would do pretty consistently, shutting down the pipelines.
Just
doing stuff
happens
like
to
that.
be the wrong choice for the people.
Yeah.
Do we have any questions?
No, not as of right now.
That's all right. Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens, and I'm excited tonight to see who gets the Iowa caucus, which, can someone explain that to me? Because I'm not entirely sure what a caucus is.
Caucus is basically, at the base level, you've got just average people that gather together. They say their opinions on who they want, and they choose leaders. The leaders then go to another higher caucus, and they'll caucus and talk and why they like this person, and then they just continue to do that up the chain, basically. I know it because Dad was a leader of some caucuses a while back. Went to the Riverton caucus and was getting all into it, and moved a few levels up the chain until they voted in another guy. And they would speak, and,
Yeah.
it was pretty cool.
That is cool.
Interesting. Okay. Trump is still going to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's got, what did you say, 70-something% approval?
I don't know. All I know is that Joe Biden's approval's in the 30s. You can't do anything.
That's surprising.
Yeah, that's that high. Just kidding. I mean,
Yeah, that's awful.
right. But
That is like-
all I see online is how
30%
much
of the
everything's
popular
expensive.
vote. Yeah, 30% of the popular vote as compared to these other guys that are in the single digits or barely in the double digits.
Well, it's because he's president.
Yeah.
If any of them were
He's
president, they
well-known.
would be up there too, yeah.
And a couple of these guys will start shooting up as this year progresses for sure.
Yeah.
Gets more coverage.
Who do you think's dropping out after the Iowa caucus?
I pray Ron.
Yeah,
Me too.
he really botched that so bad.
Nikki and Ron have to leave.
Yeah.
I think Vivek should carry it to the very end and then dip out. I really do, because he's talking.
Yeah, dip
He's
out and
getting to the
support
young
Trump.
people,
Like, yep.
which is good. All the old people, wonderful. You're going to die. The young people, we got years around. He's doing push-ups with them. He's talking with them. He's with Jake Paul. Like, hanging out with Jake Paul
He's been
often.
going everywhere.
Everywhere.
Anyone that'll take him, he's going to talk.
And it's great. Even if he's paying the podcasters or whatever, which I doubt he is, great.
Which, that doesn't make sense why every candidate isn't doing that, right? Like Jake Paul, he's
It
got a
makes sense
huge
because they're worried
audience.
about these big questions.
Well, also,
fair enough.
they're old. So maybe they don't even grasp that concept.
Well, other people should on their teams, right?
They grasp it. They know.
It's
Donald
basically
Trump
TV.
grasps podcasts. Like, come on, these other guys can.
Trump has just made such a big movement. He doesn't even
Yeah.
need it.
He doesn't go on anything. No debates, nothing.
Only Fox News, really.
Which
Does he still go on Fox News?
feels like a mistake to me.
Yeah, that kind of.
He might
It will-
also still be catching on like how much sway these podcasts have and things like that.
He needs to be on
it
Joe
is a
Rogan.
different world for sure.
Trump on a podcast would be interesting to watch.
Joe Rogan,
It'd be awesome.
that
Joe
would be
Rogan
badass.
Didn't want him on.
That'd be the one.
Yeah, but Joe Rogan has changed a lot.
He
He's
has
like
changed.
he's open to the idea now, which is good.
Yeah.
Shoot, Trump, you're welcome on this podcast.
It should
love
reach
it.
all 10 people.
That'd be interesting. It wouldn't be 10. It
No,
would
that would be
blow up.
huge. That'd be cool. Anyway, we're bombing Yemen. That's good.
Yep, another war. Check.
Yeah. So how many are we in now?
Is that number 3?
Yeah, that is third. We
Number
got
3 in a botched
Ukraine and
pullout?
Russia,
Hell yeah.
Israel, and Hamas, Palestine, really. Yemen and America. Oh, and Iran on the back burner. Oh, and China, because the Taiwan people just voted in the party. Well, I mean, they voted in the vice president of the sitting party, which is very, very pro-American and anti-China. And the other two parties, or the other one party, is more warm to China. So there's a fourth one that's going to pop off. North Korea and South Korea. Well, I don't know. They're just shooting rockets close to each other. Not really a war yet. Yeah. So we got 5 on the horizon. That tells me World War III. Unless I'm dumb, but I don't think I am.
Potentially. So what I'm hoping is we have enough time before anything World War III like, we'll say more World War III like happens, so that we can get the next president in and hopefully calm things down a bit. Especially if it is Trump, which it's looking like it's going to be.
Yeah.
Then that would be awesome if he was able, because he's homies or at least acquaintances with most of these guys.
Yeah.
Get in there and just be like, what are we doing, bro? Let's stop.
Yeah.
How do we figure
he'll
this
make
out?
a damn peace treaty.
Yeah.
Or like a, white flag. Ukraine, give it up, bro. Yeah. America, pull your ass out. You're the ones who fucking did that shit.
Yep.
America's the bad guys. Let's be fucking real here. Good guys, since World War II, after that, we've caused some shit and some fucking bullshit.
Zave, can you turn my headset down just a little bit? Number 2? Thank you. Check. Better.
What's that? Good.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Yeah, it's...
In a lot of instances, America's the bad guys. And I don't give a shit what you say. We keep on encroaching on everyone's borders. We keep on funding terrorists. Let's not forget about that.
It is true. Originally, it was to stop the spread of communism, and now it's
That's
just
what I'm saying. World War II. Up to that point, great. We're doing the right stuff.
Even after World War II. I mean, you've heard of the Red Scare and everything. That was all like the 60s-ish.
Yeah.
All the way up through there. And that was their plan, is stop the spread of communism. But now it's just like anytime there's a conflict, the U.S. is like, I want my finger in that pie.
Yeah, we always do that.
Yeah. It's annoying. In this spirit of like humanitarianism or whatever we try to do. But we also kind of get dragged into each of these conflicts as well, because we are like the biggest donor to NATO. Like,
yeah. Which Trump was trying to change that. He actually was changing it.
Yeah. Yes, he was. Like, y'all got to pull your weight. Come on.
Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen. It needs to stop, though. It has to stop. Just like Trump warned, some person recently asked him at like one of his rallies or something, Are we in World War III? Are we close to World War III? He's like, we're the closest we've ever been, and we don't want World War III because these are weapons that basically they're going to destroy everything. And I don't think he was referring to nuclear weapons. He was saying stuff like, yeah, you don't even want to know what kind of weapons we have.
We got some crazy-ass weaponry. Can you turn them up just a little bit? Sorry.
I'm kind of loud, too.
Test. Good.
I'm number 4.
Stop yelling. No,
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Thank you. That's better.
Like our F-35s and stuff, our newest weapons equipment on the aircraft is like they can. I mean, they have it all in their helmet where they can look at their missiles and send them to targets and stuff.
They're so cool, dude.
So
but they can also grab somebody else's missiles and send them to targets. Like say they got a buddy, another F-35 or F-16, whatever, 100 miles away, 50 miles away, they can access their weaponry, and they've got jets that are basically just weapon carriers for the F-35s. And so they'll all be in formation or whatever, and these F-35s can just fuck
do they
things
just
up.
Bluetooth sync to it?
I have no clue. I don't know how it works, but it's badass.
Also seen the other day
So-
that their radar cross section on those F-35s, so like how much they show up on the radar, is they're the size of a bee.
It's
Because of their
very
stealth.
small.
So they're like super hard
Wow.
to detect.
Yeah, like a regular stealth plane will be the size of like a big boulder or a big beach ball or something on the radar, and these guys are like, is that even a plane? I don't know till I see it. It's wild.
That's cool.
Way
And they
crazy.
do that because the angles that they have are not perfectly right angles. They're all kind of like angled at a certain like obtuse or acute angle.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you have these radar signals coming in, it bounces off on weird directions instead of straight back at the radar. So they're almost invisible.
Which we only have that technology because Taiwan is supplying the chips for us.
This is actually part of just the way they're built.
Like their
Engineering.
armor.
Yeah, like they're like
Well, I'm
between-
talking like the missiles, the smart missiles and all that.
Oh yeah,
that you're
yeah.
getting.
Yeah. And we got a bunch of weapon systems. Like Tammy's dad works for L3, and they do weapon defense technology and all that shit.
No, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah, so he builds chips and stuff for them.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's pretty sick.
Uncle Haas makes, I don't know, he works out somewhere. They make rocket fuel and stuff. That's cool.
That's
He's
cool.
an engineer out there.
Wow.
Is it Northrop Grumman?
There's
a place-
Sure. It's.
There's a place just northwest of Brigham City.
I would bet that's where it is.
Northrop Grumman, and we've got stuff all the time out there. They're doing rocket tests and stuff, and we can't fly out there.
Huh.
It's dope.
That's
Well, he's
crazy.
worked there for a lot of years, and that's all I know is he makes rocket fuel, I think. But it's cool.
That's so cool. Man, I like that. I like that stuff.
That's so neat.
Yeah, it is pretty neat. The thing is that, like, there was back before they made the F-35, there was like rumor that Russia had these crazy awesome jets, and so the U.S. was like, "Oh fuck, we got to make them way better," and our jets are now like fucking up here, and everyone else's is down here
Yeah.
with the amount of technological progression and everything we put into them.
Will you look if we're on the 6th or 7th gen? I think we're on 7th gen in the making right now.
Right, that's what's shown as well.
7th gen of what?
Yeah, that's what
Like
we
they
know.
Seven-
Of.
never stopped
7th gen
developing
fighter.
this stuff, you know.
Jet.
Which is so crazy. You think like the B-2 bomber. How old is that thing? Like you think they just stopped making stuff like that? No way.
That was in the early 1900s, wasn't it? Or was it 1960-ish?
No, the B-2 bomber.
It's fairly
I don't
old.
know. It's
Let
like
me see. I'll look it up.
fairly new,
Yeah.
but also old. I want to say 90s.
Oh, was it
I'm
that
not
late?
sure.
I thought it was earlier.
No, the SR-71 they retired the last one in like 98.
Which is crazy.
88.
Yeah.
Okay.
88 for the B-2 bomber.
7th.
Yeah.
They were, on
They were-
generation.
7th
That's
gen,
when they
yeah.
were made.
Yeah.
That's cool.
They look sick.
So what
too.
was happening in
That's
88?
badass.
Was that the Korean War? The end of the Korean
I
War?
don't think that's what it was.
It
I
does
don't know.
not say. Either way, it's been like 40 years damn near. You don't
Yeah.
think they got something way cooler?
Yeah, and the coolest stuff the
Yeah.
population knows of is like the B-2 and whatnot.
So we are on the 7th gen fighter craft right now.
Yeah. Looking it up.
Again, that we know of.
Kosovo War.
Right, that we
So-
know of. So we probably have like 11th gen,
Yeah.
if we can even compute what that is.
Yeah, so the first time the B-2 was used in 1999. It was still.
Damn.
I mean, it was still good 11 years. A decade after, it was still a good stealth bomber, which is crazy.
Well, we still use
Still
those.
a good stealth bomber.
I
Yeah.
think they retired them.
Did
No.
they?
I'll
I
look it
knew.
up.
I know they do like B-2 flyovers sometimes.
Yeah, they do for the national anthem, at like big games, and I'm pretty sure they're still in use.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Retired? Let's see. Oh, so no later than 2032 they'll be retired.
Okay.
Oh no, right here. 2058 it looks like.
I mean, a lot
So
of
long time.
a lot of planes usually last like 30 to 50 years. So like,
Oh, it was planned till 2058, but they moved it up to 2032.
they're like, we got so much cooler
Yeah.
stuff.
Man, it makes me wonder. I don't want to see what we have, but I kind of want to see what we have.
I do.
Okay.
That would be fun.
This says they plan on
Yeah.
having replacements for the B2s with the new B52s by 2037.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice. Well, the issue with that is if we see what we have, then we also get to see what other people have
Yeah.
to us. Which
They're
mi-
just neat planes and they look really cool.
They do look cool. Like some stuff off Star Wars or something.
They look way sci-fi.
What,
Like that's shit you'd see an alien pull up and you'd be like, yeah, that tracks.
the B-52?
Just the B2.
B-2.
B-52 as well. I think the B-52
yeah,
is
those
a
are
little more
dope.
streamlined.
Yeah, those are like huge wingspans and super thin
Yeah,
plane.
they're just like flat. They look so cool.
It's actually crazy. A lot of the like heavier aircraft, especially the military aircraft. So you know how most, well, you may not know this, but most aircraft wings are like straight out or like slightly up a little bit. But a lot of the bigger military aircraft have their wings swept downwards because when they put a full load on it, then it goes up.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Huh. That's interesting.
Weird.
because it's just so much weight. I mean, what is it? The C5 Galaxy can carry like a 1,000,000-pound payload or something. It's stupid
That's intense.
how big some of those are.
Cool engineering like that. This isn't really, it's off topic, but
Oh, we
I-
have a well. When you're done, we have a question.
the Golden Gate Bridge. You know how it's all suspension bridge.
Yeah.
the ropes that hold it up are something like 19 feet longer during the day because they expand, which is so weird. Huh? They had to account for 19-foot difference.
That is crazy.
They also finished the suicide net with that.
Oh, did they?
And it costed more than the actual bridge.
I did
Because
see
they
that.
did it later.
That was off topic, but just cool engineering things.
Oh, it's fascinating.
Also, a little off topic, but here we go. What's the newest movie everyone has watched?
Who has that?
Oren?
Perfect.
Wait, is
Or
it?
I should say Golden Scarab Designs.
Yeah. The most recent movie I watched, I started Tombstone and I fell asleep. It's like a cowboy show. I thought it was pretty good.
Wait, that's a series. What about a movie?
No, Tombstone is a movie.
Oh, is it?
It's an old Western cowboy.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
the
a-
old one. Oh, yeah. They have... I'm thinking of Yellowstone. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. But that's the most recent one.
Shit.
Aquaman. It's not very good.
Yeah, that one was mid.
The first time I watched it, and I was just not a fan.
I can't remember the most recent movie I've watched. I'll have to double check.
I also watched John Wick for the very first time in my life.
John
It's
Wick is
actually not bad.
That one's pretty. That's pretty good.
They're so fun. They're kind of dumb, but they're so fun to watch.
Well, that's the point though. It's like the story doesn't really matter. You just want to watch them beat up people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part is fun.
What was your most recent movie you watched, Golden Scarab?
Oh, mine was
Probably-
Red Notice with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Isn't that like? Oh wait, no.
It's like
I'm thinking of
stealing
The
art and
Proposal.
stuff.
Yeah.
So that's a funny movie.
Says Tombstone's a good one.
What did I?
That
I
is a
can't
good one.
remember what
Yeah.
I watched last.
Yeah, it is good.
I don't watch a lot of TV or movies, more TV.
Yeah. Same, and
That
even
counts.
that, I just mostly listen to stuff.
Right,
Yeah.
stuff like The Office and Friends, where you know what's going on, so you don't have to pay attention.
Oh yeah, there you go.
While you're doing other things.
I was saying like podcasts and books and stuff. I don't watch a whole lot of things,
Me
except
neither.
when I'm donating plasma.
Yeah.
Then I'll grind on some shows. It's
Nice.
fun.
Fuck yeah.
The most recent series I've watched is A Life Below Zero. It's like an Alaskan show where it just shows they're in the middle of nowhere.
Just cold.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool.
It's an interesting show. We've watched it before too.
Yeah, they just shoot whatever they want, whenever they want.
That's neat. Except for
Sounds nice.
they starve to death if they don't, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty good.
Mine was a Reacher.
Yeah, I've been
Reacher.
watching Reacher too.
Reacher's good.
Is I thought that was a movie.
No, I mean
It is.
could
They have
be.
one with Tom Cruise.
Oh, there you go.
They have an Amazon
No,
series though. It's
series.
Is it?
Series with Reacher. Yeah. It's got the
Okay.
main character of like Blue Mountain State.
Oh,
Bad.
yeah.
Bad. Yeah.
Is he actually serious?
That's the
in
main
this?
character. Yeah, he is.
Oh,
Dude,
wow.
he's so big in this movie.
Dude.
Yeah, it's so cool.
That's sick.
He must be wearing high heels. No,
Oh, I
just kidding.
think I've seen clips from that. Yeah.
That one's a damn good one. It'll get your blood all. Ooh,
Where he's
yeah.
in like that diner and he's just like all
Mhm.
serious and shit.
Yeah. That's a fun
Yeah.
show to watch.
And he's basically a guy who does what's right, no matter what he's told. So it's pretty badass.
So
Or
his-
or what's right for him. you
yeah,
know?
his moral compass
Yep.
like sticks to it.
Yep. It's
That's
just
pretty
pretty
cool.
cool. He's like military and all that. So
It's a very fun show to watch.
damn good one.
Well,
What?
hard segue. Have you guys heard of the protests in Germany and France?
Oh,
Farmers?
dude, for the farmers.
They're
yeah.
awesome.
They're going
Awesome.
crazy.
Yeah, I watched the video in France of like a tractor just shooting shit on the town hall or whatever
Yeah,
it
I've
was.
Yeah,
seen
they're just
that.
dumping manure.
Yep.
In the streets, manure.
Yeah, they were blocking a bunch of the streets. Germany is going crazy. It's like riot level
Yeah, they're
protests
nuts
from
over
the
there.
farmers.
Isn't it because they ban pesticides or like refuse to? They're like making it super hard for them to like grow their or just live basically.
You should
Probably
look it up
was a-
so we can know exactly.
I was trying to earlier.
I thought it was a tax
so
thing,
could,
but
like,
I
be
don't
serious
know.
about it. But the only thing that I got that I could read was pesticides. Like they banned pesticides, and I don't know if that was in France or Germany. But then they were like, "Fuck that."
I'm not
Either
exactly
way, something affecting the farmers a lot.
Yes. And that's like the basis of an economy. So
It must have been a big deal too with how many were out there
Mm-hmm.
and like
Yeah.
how hard they're going. So I'm trying to look it up.
I think
That's-
it's great.
I think it's cool. I
Let 'em
always see
have
the
it.
things that are like, America needs to learn a thing or two from Germany on how to protest.
yeah.
They're just shooting shit all over the buildings.
Well, it's good because they're actually going towards the people that affect it, while America goes after citizens.
Yep.
Where it's like, okay, you're only hurting your society, but right, makes sense.
Oh, it looks like they're trying to give them like a tax for their
It's like
like a carbon tax or whatever.
yeah, they're taxing them for their like
This-
carbon emissions or
This
something
says
like right.
paying more for their pollution is a step too far, so they have to pay to use their tractors and shit. But
Carbon tax is never a good idea. Because all it is like, okay, now pay us more money and you can emit everything you want.
I
It
feel
doesn't
like
matter.
there's one group of people you shouldn't go after ever, and it's farmers, because you got to eat.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they
Like-
need to be the superstars.
Like only reasonable to keep them safe and happy and fed.
Mhm.
You know,
And I think they do have a lot of subsidies and stuff from the government.
which
Especially in this country. I don't know about other ones, but they get a lot from the government. But it's also like, if anyone should, it should be them.
right,
Yeah.
I'm okay with that because I need food.
Well, and I think
And I
that's,
don't want to farm.
that's another reason I think they were mad is because I think the government was cutting their
Funding.
funding.
Yeah, smart move.
So
government.
farmers today sent a clear signal to the federal government to completely withdraw the planned tax increases. So the 100,000 tractors showed up.
Was that in Germany or France? Because they're both
Germany.
doing similar stuff.
Just in Germany, but it also said it's in Spain as well. France, Spain, and
Fuck.
They're all getting sick of it.
I think it's the EU.
Yeah, probably. That's a tough one.
At least they're
Oh, even in the Netherlands, an agricultural giants like the Netherlands
part
and
of the
France,
EU, isn't it?
farmers have expressed frustration.
So all the EU basically.
Yeah.
Fuck.
At least they're actually protesting about good stuff over there,
Yeah,
like something
another
worth
question.
protesting about.
I didn't see it.
That's fine.
Unlike us.
I commented with test.
I know.
Okay.
We had another one say, "What's everyone's favorite political commentator?"
Tim Pool for me.
Yep.
Yeah, Tim
Tim
Pool.
I like
Pool.
him a lot.
Hands down.
I don't really have one because I don't really watch politics too much, so I couldn't. Tucker Carlson, is he a?
Yes.
I like some
Yeah.
of his stuff. Yeah,
Mine goes
I
Tim
don't watch a
Pool,
lot
and
of
then
his stuff.
I enjoy Ben Shapiro.
I watched an interview with him or the podcast with him and Theo Vaughn.
I did too.
That was
Liked
pretty
it.
interesting. Yeah.
Mhm. I like Theo Vaughn though. Dude's funny.
He's hilarious.
So funny.
But he's also like down to earth.
Yeah.
He'll just
Yeah.
say funny shit because it's funny. But he's also very smart.
He rides the grayest line,
Oh, it's awesome.
and then he gets away with it because he pretends like he's
Because
slow.
it's Theo, baby. Yeah.
No, I think he is a little slow.
It's awesome.
Have you ever heard him like? You know how they have the ads like Ben Shapiro will be like talk about like mattresses and shit.
Yeah.
Like he'll do that, but in the most monotone fucking voice. It's just hilarious.
That's funny. I've been watching a lot of Dave Ramsey lately. That's
You
not
been
a
liking him?
political. No, not at all.
mean,
But I
yeah.
find him. Some of his stuff is very interesting and intriguing, but I disagree with almost all of it.
Yeah, his main, kind of a hard segue, but that's okay. His main
Yeah.
thing is like pay off all debt and own your house.
Yeah. Have no
Which-
debt. Never touch debt. Don't even
for
look at
most
debt.
people's not a bad idea.
It's fantastic for most
yeah.
people.
Can't you technically not really own any property?
Correct, because you have property tax.
Right, but you can get it down. You
So
know?
if you don't pay your property tax, they can still take it from you.
So fucked.
Yeah, but what's the property tax for? That's the question.
What is it for?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know exactly. But I imagine it's for a lot of the city facilities that you use.
Well, what if you didn't live in the city? What if you lived clear out and you were on your own well and whatnot?
Then property tax is fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's still
They
there.
don't
It
care, it's
sounds
the
like an
government,
IRS thievery to me.
This, I
You'll
seen
own
some guy
nothing and you'll be happy.
talking about this the other day. Like most people that live in big cities don't understand why rural people would not like the government, because the government's always in cities' life. Like you see them everywhere.
Yeah.
But rural people, they never really see the government except for to give them money. Like You
Yeah.
might see a cop here and there, but
Yeah.
you don't see them food banks or whatnot. It's not around as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he said I thought that was interesting. At least like that causes a divide, as they see it every day and you
Like a
rarely ever see it.
a
That's
bias.
a fair point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wonder if you lived completely off the grid. So, yeah, I wonder if you live completely off the grid, if you can make a case that you shouldn't have to pay property tax and you might win. I don't think you would,
I doubt it.
but if you can make a strong enough argument and the right people heard it, you might be able to swing that.
As long as you're a sovereign citizen, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Whatever happened with that? Was that a real? Was
It
that
was
even a
just
real fucking
a
thing?
big thing, and then
That's-
everyone found out. Oh wait, it's still the government.
Yeah, that's the other thing is if you are completely off the grid, you still and you're not bringing income, you're not spending, none of that, then you still have the protections of the government technically. So there's a reason for property tax, if nothing else.
So how much tax do you guys think is actually like fair? Because it's like, yeah, they do a lot for us, like roads.
I think a
and,
flat tax would be fair.
like just a minimum payment for everybody,
Percentage.
like percentage.
Yep.
Of like your income, or like just this is how much you pay. After that, you're good.
No, percentage of whatever you bring in. So say it's from income from a job, investments, whatever it is, just set a flat tax for everybody. There's no getting out of it, none of this stuff. But the problem with that is there are certain things that are incentivized by the tax code, such as real estate or agriculture or starting businesses, that will no longer be incentivized with that. So that would completely disrupt the entire economy.
But
And
wouldn't
then,
it make it better because everybody could actually keep their money?
I'd say it would
Pros and
be
cons.
probably a 50 to 100 year change. But yeah,
Yeah.
theoretically it would be better.
I mean, the appeal of starting a business is so you can make money, right? Make more money than you are.
And write off the taxes.
Well, that I know, but when people think of starting a business, they're not like, I want to start a business so I can avoid paying taxes. That's just kind of a benefit.
And the government has specifically stated that you're not supposed to do that. Like people who own LLCs so they can write off everything is not a good way to do it.
So really, the tax thing is just kind of like an added benefit in my mind.
Yes.
So that's why I don't think it would be that
it's
big
an
of a deal.
incentive.
Yeah.
So picture this. We have a flat tax now. Say it's 5%. Everybody's income, no matter what it is. You have those in real estate. You have those in the stock market. You have those drilling for oil, water. People are going to flock now to whatever's most profitable. What's the most profitable out of all that, That's going to screw with the whole inflation thing. Like, everything's going to be fucked. So, then people flock to whatever's most profitable, and you will find a ton of that. Say, in this case, it's going to be pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
Now what? Now what happens to all of our housing? What happens to our oil drilling? Like, everything is just fucked.
Well, why doesn't that happen now?
Because those other areas are incentivized by the government and by inflation.
More than like pharmaceuticals?
Not necessarily.
Because it seems like you would go where their money is anyway, whether you had taxes or incentives or not. You're going to go there anyway.
You could, but the pharmaceutical industry will get saturated eventually, right?
Yeah.
And then they go to the next best thing. That's kind of how all of that works is you go to the whatever is the most profitable for what you're doing.
Right.
So if you would have a lot of people go to whatever's most profitable to start. Like I said, it'd be a 50 to 100 year transition to get that in place.
I see. So it would just take a long time, but
It
it,
would
could
take a
be
long time.
beneficial.
Could be, yeah. So, so would being back on the gold standard.
Yeah, true.
But again, that would kerfuck everything.
Maybe we need a kerfuckle. Not like a
We're
war.
gonna
Not
get
like
one.
a war.
We're
But
going to
like,
get one. We've got a $1.6 trillion bill of spending for this year that hasn't been approved quite yet, that they're working on approving right now. That's like we had $8 trillion in debt 2001, and now we're over 34 trillion.
Sweet.
It's just
So our inflation is just going to go through the roof then.
it's been
It's going to
It
continue.
has
It's been.
but it's gonna get
It got
worse.
up to what was it 14% before they changed how they rate inflation.
Yeah.
And now it's sitting at a cool, like 7, 8, whatever it is. It's working its way down by the new way that they rate it, but it's,
But
It's
by
still
the
there.
grocery bill, it's still high.
yes, groceries are still very expensive. So is everything else. So we're going to get the kerfuckle one way or another.
Well, then let's do it the right way, At least benefit from it. Put us back on the gold standard. Then we'll just get kerfuckled for a couple of years, and then we'll get
Well,
back to normal.
So the way that the world works for, like, you'd have to put the whole world back on the gold standard, which is
Why?
theoretically possible if the U.S. did it because it's all backed by U.S. dollars.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why would we have to get everybody else on board?
Because we'd have to have them backing our dollars. The problem is if we were on the gold standard, the U.S. would be fucked.
Why?
Because what we're doing right now is we're borrowing money and we're paying it back with inflated dollars later. Less value, right? And we've been doing that for years and years and years. That's where you get this 3% inflation is approximately good for the economy, you know, and all this other stuff. Because with the gold standard, you don't get inflation, you get deflation sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's
It's
not great. Yeah. When your purchasing power goes way up and everything goes way down in price, then suddenly people are like, how do we pay our debts off with more expensive dollars now instead of cheaper dollars? That's why you have interest rates, or usury is what it's called, so that it keeps up with inflation and hopefully provides a little bit of profit on top. So, yeah, like these are all great thoughts. I love the gold standard, everything, but you got to start from there. If we hadn't gone off of it, we would be okay. The fact that we've gone off of it and everything's gone exponential, you try to get back on that, everything's fucked.
So we're fucked.
Yeah.
It's just going to be this way now.
Well, one way or another, monetarily, the world is going to see a fat correction.
When?
Yeah.
I guess
that's the
like,
question,
that's
isn't
a
it?
stupid question, but like,
I mean, people have been trying to predict it since 08 and since 01. You know, every single correction we've had, they try to predict the next one. We usually go in cycles of about 7 to 10 years.
like, are we in a fucking recession right now?
We were. I don't know that we are now.
I think we were till they changed the definition.
Yeah. So it's just like the house will crumble. To quote Robert Kiyosaki, you know, what does he say? Oh, basically the tent can only get inflated so far.
Yeah.
Till it collapses.
Yeah.
Mandrake's Magic Money Show is what he calls it. There you go. So
Okay, well, here's another question. Like,
tell me.
if I know everybody's like, you got to buy gold and silver just
No.
in case the economy crashes. If we crash that bad, we're not going to be using money anymore. Doesn't matter what it is.
Nope.
People are just going to be trying to survive.
That's correct.
So what the fuck is the point?
So
Besides, like, you know, keeping your, like, some, you know, precious metals to have to, like, turn into dollars later, I get that. But, like, saying it's like a backup plan just in case the dollar fails, it's not going to work.
So you think about it like this. We'll say in countries where they've experienced hyperinflation, which is like the ultimate, like, oh shit moment, right? Suddenly a loaf of bread is $1 million, whatever it is. Also, the assets inflate with it. Because an asset is an asset, right? So dollars are kind of fluid. They up and down, up and down. The assets underlying raise and lower in value underneath that. Just like real estate the past few years, as we experienced incredible inflation and low interest rates, everything shot up, right?
Yeah.
The price of everything shot up, but also the price of assets shot up. That's the point of having real hard assets like gold and silver, like real estate, like a whole life policy.
So then that would be the issue everybody is having with, like, people that not maybe high school workers, is everything shot up but not their salary, basically, right? So
yeah, and salaries have shot up everywhere too.
Right,
Just-
but it's not like keeping up with
No.
inflation.
Nope,
So
it's
that's
not
why
keeping
everything
up.
feels so expensive.
That's why everybody's pissed, is because, like, everything's more expensive now, but we're making the same amount of money. And
Yeah,
it's-
or just slightly more. Yeah. Wages don't keep up with inflation. That's why you have assets and investments to help you out with that. Yeah. Our generation is going to see a kerfuckle of the century.
We've already seen enough, bro.
I know, but it's
alone.
we're just getting started with it.
Yeah.
Like we saw stuff that, you know, collapsed economies and whatnots, but we haven't seen the big kerfuckle yet.
Which is good because that gives us an opportunity to make it better for our children and our grandchildren.
That's why
I'm
I
excited
highly
about.
encourage all the time, gather assets, because as soon as that massive kerfuckle happens, you're gonna have massive opportunity.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys see, or if it's just my TikTok, but I see a lot of people are learning how to do, like, sustainable farming in your backyard, or kind of learning how to can food and make your own stuff.
Yeah.
Which I think is good. I mean,
Yeah.
when it comes down to it and everything gets shitty for a while, you're gonna want those skills.
Yeah.
I love watching those videos of people, like, building log cabins. I don't know what it is.
Me too.
It's so cool. Sitting there, like,
Have you seen the series Alone? You'd like that.
Yeah.
Alone is so good. We're going to have, it's a possibility we're having a friend from All Out sign up for that.
Really?
Yeah,
Dude, that'd be sick.
You remember Justin Scott?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and have him on the pod too.
He'd probably be the one to sign up too.
What's Alone? Is it like a survival show?
Yeah.
Like Naked and Afraid, but they're not naked.
It's actual survival though.
And you're
they,
alone.
They go and set them out. You're alone, and they have them like 10 miles apart. All these contestants, and they just video record the whole thing.
Yeah, by themselves.
Yeah, they set up their own cameras and shit.
Oh, so
they get
it's no like camera crew that's
No.
hiding off.
No, they're on their
no,
own.
they get checked up on, every so often for medical,
Make
But-
sure no one's starving to death.
Yeah, exactly. And if they get too fucked, then they just pull them out
Yeah.
medically. But yeah, they go and go and
it's
go.
to see who lasts the longest.
A lot of them lose like 50 pounds plus
Dude, that
in
actually
in
sounds,
30 days.
that
It's
sounds
crazy.
like a lot of fun to actually be on that show.
It's wild.
Well, maybe not fun.
It looks
but,
pretty miserable, but it's cool.
Looks
yeah,
way
miserable, but like it'd be rewarding, I guess.
Yeah, and they win. The person that lasts the
500K.
longest is 500K.
That's not bad.
And some
Yeah.
of those guys are out there a long ass time.
Like they plan to be out there for a year plus. But I think the longest one I've seen was just over 100 days.
Yeah. The one who got a deer.
Maybe. I don't know. There was a lot. But yeah, they go out there. They're taking out beavers. They're taking out deer, whatever they can
Mice,
get.
always eating mice and shit. 'Cause they
Yeah.
can't find
Mice,
food.
birds. Oh, yeah, dude. It's
I'll-
nasty.
I wonder how long, like, if you were to say, like, if somebody knew how to survive really well in the wild and they did it, like that show, I wonder how long they would last just from the getting lonely part. Like, is that
That's usually the thing that takes them out.
Yeah.
really?
Yep.
Just not being with other people?
Yep.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, a lot of them have like families and stuff or girlfriends or whatever. And so like, man, I just miss,
Yeah.
I miss human connection
Yeah.
is what it usually boils down to. And then they quit.
That's
It's
crazy.
crazy.
They're also put in just the most inhospitable places ever.
It's always like infested with bears.
Yeah, it's snowy and windy and rainy and just disgusting weather
Yeah.
for surviving.
They get down, buried in snow, like,
Anywhere in Alaska, basically.
and they're allowed to take 10 items with them.
Okay.
So like
It would be
a
awful.
ferro rod and a bow usually. It's fucking crazy.
No firearms?
No.
You got to make a
I
bow.
mean, maybe, but I'll bet you their bullets count as an item each.
Oh, that would suck.
Yeah, so the arrows they can reuse, but a gun is only going to do them good for 2 weeks,
Yeah.
It's a very interesting show.
Be
It's
hard.
fun to watch.
yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
That'd
But
be cool.
like I said, that's why I always recommend just piling assets. Like I don't think gold and silver is necessarily the end all be all for things like that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking for my portfolio, maybe 5% of my portfolio is going to be precious metals. Although this is a personal goal of mine, I want a safe filled with precious gems as well.
Gems?
Just because that'd be badass. Yeah,
Cool.
you just have, those little cases they have, and you can get a little gem with it. It's pretty cool.
Huh. I haven't seen those.
Um,
You mean like a case for gold?
no, a tiny case. Similar to that, similar to the like coin sleeves,
Yeah.
but for gems they have like little boxes with a foam pad, and then they have the gem on top and sandwiched in. It's be badass to have. It's like, oh yeah, that
Diamonds.
one's a topaz, that one's a diamond. This,
Yeah.
and they're pretty. So
Yeah, they are pretty.
pretty and light.
Yeah.
Just like gold, you got a tiny amount of gold, and it's a lot of asset, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gold's a little over $2,000 a piece right now, so $2,000 an ounce, I should say.
Okay. Yeah.
You. Do we have any more questions?
Pretty badass. Nope. Do I have a couple more people join? But no more questions.
Awesome. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat, and we'll get to them as quick as we can.
Yeah, I've been watching.
Perfect.
So yeah, and I don't think in the highest sense of the word, I don't necessarily think that whole life insurance policies are like they're assets, but they're a different kind of asset because it's still dollars. So if hyperinflation happens, you're still only going to have that many dollars, right?
Yeah.
The thing with that is if hyperinflation starts happening, they're going to jack interest rates, and so your return might be higher. But it's not going to survive hyperinflation. If like the dollar collapses and they have to transfer and make a new currency, then the dollars will transfer to the new currency, but it might be at hyperinflated prices. So
I think in our generation, we're never going to see the end everyone talks about,
No.
or hyperinflation, or like a lot of these traumatic events that are spoken about nowadays. I don't think we will ever see them.
So all we got to do really to fight a lot of that inflation is bring more jobs back home.
Yeah.
Get our people out of foreign wars and open the shit out of our oil drilling. Like, that's our number one asset is our resources. The whole U.S. is an asset. So it's like if we start pumping out more of that, that deflates our dollars, makes them worth more.
Which we will be doing.
Well, I talked
with
to
the next presidency, hopefully, yeah.
I talked to somebody about like drilling in America as opposed to like, you know, stealing our oil like we're used to. Like if we pulled them out.
It's long-term borrowing, bro.
And they said, they're like, well, then oil and gas is going to be fucking way expensive. And whether or not that's true, it's like, yeah, would you rather have us stealing and killing people over there or have expensive gas?
So oil and gas would only be expensive if we couldn't drill that much.
Which there's a ton, right?
We have a lot, but we don't.
In Alaska alone.
Yeah.
That would sustain us for who knows how long.
We don't necessarily have all the resources to mass produce it like some of the, Eastern countries.
Yeah.
So pretty immediately it would be dicey. And then after you got things sorted,
Yeah, like
it wouldn't be too
immediately
bad.
it might be. But the government subsidizes all that. Like they were, when you see your gas and stuff go way down or oil go way down, oftentimes it's because the U.S. is subsidizing the other part of that and purchasing it down to make it cheaper.
Would you want that? Like,
I mean, in the end, it's your taxes going to it, so whatever.
At least our tax would be going to something productive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why it was so cheap under Donald Trump is because they would purchase down a certain amount and then sell it to the consumer for cheaper. And because we started mass producing oil in the country, which also does make it cheaper. You don't have to pay for transportation. You don't have to pay for any embargoes or whatever we've got, right?
Yeah.
What are those called? Not embargoes. Basically fees to get it into the country.
I know what you're talking
Royalties.
about.
Not royalties.
I
I
know
know
what
like
you're
it starts
talking
with an F. I don't know. But anyway, I don't think if we started drilling our own oil, it would be super expensive. But if we went only to our own oil, it might get expensive quick.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So maybe like a slow movement over would be
Yeah. Or
beneficial.
while we're getting the other oil, we also drill.
Yeah.
That's like good. And then when we can sustain and overproduce, then that's great. And we can start exporting it to other countries. That'll make our price go way down.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Good shit.
So
Well, cool.
that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You guys feel good?
Yeah. I don't got anything else to talk about.
Yeah, I've got nothing else right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
nothing I can think of.
Check in another few weeks on how we're all doing financially, but other than that, I'm golden.
Yeah, for sure. Next week we'll have a guest. He's a big guest, and he'll be fun to have on. So, yeah, we'll do that. And then thank you guys for viewing, liking, subscribing, commenting, all that stuff. And we'll catch you next week.
See you
Peace
next
out.
week.